Hello, everyone. It's yet another week, and here we are ready to paint. I've had a pretty good week. I hope you have too. I got the stream set up here, got my paints all done, and we're going to do something this week that I haven't done before. I am going to take, going to take a little bit of my white, which I actually have sitting over here, and I have not let the canvas yet become wet. So what we need to do is we need to wet up this canvas before we can start. Of course, everyone knows my wife fidgets in the chat there. She's one of our great mods here. I'm just going to go ahead and take out some of this white. It is very, very thin. It's already been mixed up. But the point of this, let me just move this into here. That way you guys can see. One moment. So here we are right here. This is my white. Okay. I'm going to move you a little closer so you can see what's going on. And bring you down just a little bit. Hi, Jay. How you doing? Hope you've had a good week. It was nice seeing you, brother. What we're going to do here is I'm going to take my 2-inch brush and take a little bit of this here. Like I said, it is really, really thin. And I just want a very, very thin coating. So this is the basis of this type of oil painting. This is known as a wet on wet technique. And that means that I've already got the canvas wet. Take a little bit more here. Go ahead and we'll get this on here. If you try to paint oil on a dry canvas, which is something that, it is normal to do. Let's see if I can get a little bit more light on here. As you can see, it's actually white. Yeah. Maybe get this going on too. And a little bit of this. There. Now this is quite a bit thinner than these 5 that I have going on here. Those 5 there are because I know myself. And myself is really bad about mixing white with other paints. There we are. Getting the canvas just slightly wet. You don't need it too wet, or else the paint is really, really going to move around and you won't be able to get it really to do what you want it to do. The more paint that you have on the canvas, the harder and harder it will be to mold it to where you want it to be. It enters a lot of variables. Now you notice I'm kind of pushing this way. It's because I seem to have a lot of hairs and bristles on this particular paintbrush. So I'm trying to get all of all the hairs off of it. Now, sometimes when it's a black canvas or a dark canvas, I'm going to use a different color as the back color. Sometimes, like for instance, for this painting over here, right here, that was a black canvas, and then I put some blues and some reds, depending on where I was at, all across the canvas to make the canvas already wet instead of this white. All right, with that, give it the finger test. Hard to see. We'll try over here. See, it's right on the edge of my fingers there. It is just a little too dry. I need to put a little bit more up here. Now it's oil, so unlike water, it's not going to get absorbed by the canvas that much. I mean, it does, the pigment does, but the canvas is a little bit different. I really have to push into the canvas to get this oil to move. That's the problem with doing dry paint when it comes to oil. Dry painting is a bit of a pain in the butt. At least that has been my experience. Some people, they paint beautifully, but this is how I paint. You need to get, I think it might be time to retire this paintbrush. I'll grab me a different 2-incher. There we are. Seems all my bristles were coming out of that other paintbrush. There we are. Let's give it the finger test now. If you have a look now, I have a bit of paint on each of the fingers. That is what we're looking for. If there's a lot of paint that comes off, you've got too much on there and it's time to back up. Now I have here, right in this here, some odorless paint thinner, also known as mineral spirits. Actually, is the ones that I have here. The odorless stuff is even just a little bit too odoriferous, if you will. And then I go ahead and clean off the end of this brush. I have a rack inside of a trash can, and I just kind of run the bristles over it so that it gets it nice and dry. Okay, let's go ahead and put this white away. Now that we got the canvas done, oh, sorry about that. Okay, get you out of the way. A little bit on my hand there, as what happens always when you paint. Oh, I got a bit of deer hunting, huh? Is it open season? Oh, I suppose it's November, isn't it? Out here where I live, deer hunting is quite big. Ha, yes, my wife does love venison. I'm not a fan of it, but that's okay. Everyone else can have my share. I'm down with that. Alrighty. Same paintbrush, now nice and clean. Gonna take a little bit of this phthalo blue. Alrighty, get you a little closer to see what's going on here. Maybe just 1 second, I will move you back. Just move this back just a little bit. There we go. Now, down a little bit. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this phthalo blue. Now, just a little bit though. Don't need too much. Alrighty. Now, here comes. For a second there, I was wondering if I was muted. Thank goodness I am not. Yeah, she loves her venison. Now, doing some sky here. We're going to start off with a little bit of blueness. I'm just doing a crisscross pattern here. How about my sky is going to be? Maybe just a tad bit more. There we go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you there, Jay. I get you. Yeah, we're just putting in crisscross patterns here. Okay. Unfortunately, sometimes this does happen. I need to resecure my paint, my canvas. Happens sometimes. There we are. Okay, gonna wash off this brush again. Okay. Hey Doc, how you doing today? All right, grab me another paintbrush here. Another 2-incher. It's dry. Has to be for this though. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start just smoothing this out just a little bit. We don't want to lose all of our lights and darks. Just a little bit. I'm doing pretty good, Doc. How you doing today? We'll go ahead, we're gonna go across this here, just take out the brush strokes. Taking out those brush strokes. For that, we got half the sky already. And we've barely done anything yet. Well, there's a couple of these areas. So we don't have to have it perfect yet, because we're not done with this guy yet. We just added another layer. Alrighty. Clean off this paintbrush. Last thing we need to add to the sky is the rest of the clouds. Oh, if it isn't Shy. How you doing, Shy? You're able to join us finally. Alrighty. I'm gonna grab some titanium white here. I'm just gonna use the corner of the brush. Just the corner of the brush. Quite a bit more. Oh, that's cool. Just gonna go ahead around all of these clouds here. Just gonna fluff them up a bit. There we are. There we are. Get the edging of those clouds out. Get some of this baby blue out here. Okay. Now, I'm going to clean off my paintbrush here. Just the edge. I'm going to go right up to the edge, but I'm not going to touch the edge. I'll touch that edge in just a moment. are. Now, what we need to do is we need to move here. We're just gonna lift these clouds up. See, we just lift them up. That way, the clouds will stay in the sky. Just the corner of the brush is all that we need. Just gonna fluff it up. Remember, this is still not the final, so you don't have to worry about how it looks completely just yet. Here we are. Nice, easy clouds. Get rid of some of the excess here. And we're just going to go over it and erase our brush strokes. Just like this. Now, got a hair here. Get rid of that. Get rid of the brush strokes. And it will just be like 2 hairs and some air here because I have up to 3 to 4 layers of paint in areas here. I go ahead and give it too much pressure. There we are. I think with that we have a sky. There we are. All right, gonna clean off this brush here. Run it over the grate here. I want to thank you guys for showing up today. As BrushBot, who is my friendly bot here, says, please remember to give me a follow if you haven't. Very much happy to be here today on this Friday. We're going to take an oval brush. So, what that looks like is like this. It is one that kind of gives us a much more rounded edge. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of this phthalo blue. In fact, you know what? I'm going to use the knife to do this. So I'm going to need a bit of it, yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to take some of this phthalo blue. I'm going to take some midnight black and some of this cobalt blue. I'm going to mix this together. Now we mix it together, it's just kind of bring it together and then kind of mush it together. The thing about stuff in the background is the further in the background that you go, the bluer it gets. You know, I love it when people put down emotes that are hearts. There is so much badness in this world. So much things that should not be and yet are. It's good to see a little bit of the love being spread around, even if it is just on a small Twitch community. Thank you guys for showing up today. That is all mixed up. So, I think I'll put my knife right there just so I remember where it's at. Watch me forget now, because where did it go? I don't even know. All right, anyway, I am going to take my oval brush. Well, thank you, honey, of course. I'm going to take a little bit of this. You know what I'm missing here? I know what I'm missing. And you're going to think me odd. I'm going to take this here. Take a little phthalo green, and just a little bit, because phthalo green can be overpowering in a bunch of blue. We're going to mix that in too. I almost forgot. You can see how much that really alters the color. Now, why those particular colors? Well, black for the making the value less. Obviously, black's pretty self-explanatory. Also, this particular black, if you add a lot of white to it, will turn kind of a dark blue. Phthalo blue, which is something that is in the sky, pretty easy. Cobalt blue, which is a little bit lighter blue, but it's also not as opaque as phthalo blue. Phthalo blue is very opaque, which means, transparent, not opaque, transparent. Being very transparent just going to tap the end of the thing here while I'm talking. Being transparent, we need to see something here. So, going to move down here into the foreground a little bit. Let's see what we got going on here. Now, big decision time. So not putting mountains in here. This is just a background image of stuff quite far away. A little bit more of the darkness. A little bit more here. All right. I'm going to continue going on here. You know, I think I'm going to fill in the rest of, since I'm at it, I am going to put in a little bit of phthalo blue down here. Everyone knows me, knows I love a little bit of water. Okay, a little bit more phthalo blue on the other side too. Get that nice and in there. See now, by leaving this white spot in the middle here. Oh, well, thank you, Nurse Dabs. Thank you, Jocelyn. I don't know about that, though. I'm going to leave just a lighter spot right here. There we are. A little bit of water. Right here. There we are. All right. Rinse this out. Since more people have come in, I got to ask, how's everyone's week been this week? I hope everyone's had an okay week thus far. My week's been okay. Couple ups, couple of downs, but hey, that's a usual week in my house. Anyone do anything special this week? Or was it just another week in the life of? As I'm sitting here cleaning my brushes, I hope everyone's doing okay today. Okay. Cleaning this last one up. And while I'm at it, I am going to add a little bit to this. It's a little low. Just another day in paradise. Samesies. Nice. Ooh, my goodness. All right. We've kind of got a line going on here, a little bit. Alrighty. I'm going to take this and I'm going to brush a little bit of that off. I need to get into a little bit of the greens. Now I have here a little bit of sap green, a little bit of phthalo green. I think I might use a little bit of both. Now phthalo green is like phthalo blue. If paradise was 44 degrees, very good. Yeah. Um, I am going to take my 1 inch brush real quick and just go over this, smooth it up just a little bit, blend it a little bit, just a little bit here and there. This is background, so we're not going to be seeing a whole lot of this. At least it won't be the one that draws your eyes. Oh. I'm sorry to hear that, Jocelyn. Everyone has their up weeks and down weeks. I'm sorry that you're going through a bad one. Now, I'm going to take some of this green. Let's see how this looks against this. Now, go ahead and get a little bit more of this green. Yes, sending you virtual hugs there, Jocelyn. I'm sorry. Sometimes life does get you down. I've had some pretty low times in my life. Those that know me know that I am divorced once. Not entirely the best period of my life, obviously. But I emerged stronger and better. And I learned how to paint. And while the paint of the world is all out there, my canvas is still exactly the same as it was as when I left it. It's a nice thing about painting, so that you get to be in control. Other times in my life, I have to do what other people tell me. This is one of the only places that I get to do whatever. One problem with using this particular brush, though, is that it is quite big. All right. Get this nice and dry so that we can do a little shading at the bottom here. Bring it out to a nice you can see I'm adding a little bit of white to it, which gives it even more of a depth to it. All right. Just fluffing it up just a little bit. This is background, so we're really not going to see it that well. There we are, just like 2 hairs and some hair. There we are. All right. As much fun as background is, you can spend too much time on it. It's time to move on. We need to get some of the foreground stuff going on here. So, I am going to take a 2-inch brush. We're going to start taking this here and yanking it down. Gonna need this in our water. I'm even gonna take some of this phthalo green here. Just pull it down. More of this phthalo green, because phthalo green is very, very light. Now you might go, uh-oh, you made a mistake here. Right here, it's too dark. Nice thing about wet on wet. Keep going. It'll blend in. You'll get what you're looking for. Another nice thing about wet on wet is right here. Now I take a dry brush, just gently go across it. And look at that. We have our water effect. You get in nice and close here. Oh, there we are. Let me bring you down. Okay. All right. We need a little darkness here. So we are going to go with that same 2-inch brush. Get some of that excess paint off of it. We're going to set it here. We need to do, so we're going to mix up some more paint. Don't need any more of this blue, but we're going to use this as a base. This is Van Dyke Brown, Burnt Sienna, Burnt Umber. We're even going to put in a tiny little bit of mauve. We're just going to go ahead and mix this up. It's around this time that I say something corny as a dad joke, like there's been a huge mix-up here, but I'm not going to say that. A little bit more midnight black, a little bit darker. I can feel your virtual groans, don't you worry. I feel them. I share them. Again, thank you everyone for coming today. Just doing a little painting here and there today. This painting is eventually going to be available on my shop. Both the original and then prints of this original. The prints are quite a bit cheaper than the actual original, as obviously the original there is only one. It'll be very soon, and I will get that out to you. Alrighty. I also need, where did I put it? Not sure, I'll use a different one, a fan brush. I also found the fan brush I wanted to use. We'll use this one instead. So we have this fan brush here. Okay, I'm gonna use some of this dark. I'm pushing it back and forth because if you have a look, it gets the bristles down to a nice curved point. Okay. I've decided to do one thing first, and I'm going to use this other brush in order to do it. I'm going to take some of this yellow ochre. I'm going to do this first. I forgot to do one thing first now that I'm looking at it. My bad, guys. Getting all discombobulated, it's okay. I need to put in this shoreline. So I'm going to take this white, put it out nice. I'm just going to I put it out nice and thin. And on the top of this knife, now I have this nice bead of paint. From there, we make a coastline. Now you want to keep your coastline straight. Because if you go up and down here, it's not going to look right. Your brain's going to sit there and say, nah, what are you doing? That's not right. Okay. Need to get some more white. Use the same stuff, and again, putting it on the back side of the knife. Not going to need most of that, or we're going to be covering that up, I think, in this world. Remember to get all your lines should be straight across. Anything other than that, it's going to look like your painting's falling out. Okay, knife back here. Now that is in. Do the top of the tree here. Droop these downwards. That's one. Again, moving that back and forth, bringing it to a fine tip, fine point. I'll put another one in. Right here. You need at least one more. Why, hello! It's Lord Shenlong. How are you doing? I'm glad that you finally made it to my stream. It's good to see you. Alrighty. We're just doing some trees here. This is background trees. This top here. And we're drooping them downwards because it's kind of, this is more of a fall, I would say, with these kinds of colors. A little bit of yellow ochre. Alright, clean off this fan brush here. Ooh, does anyone have anything fun planned for the weekend? It being Friday today, thank you very much for joining me. Alright. Hey, how you doing? I have to say, sir, you have some very, very long streams. Oh, is my shoutouts not working anymore? Oh, darn it. I thought I had that worked out. I'm sorry. Okay, I got some dark trees now that I would like to add in. Probably because these ones are a little bit more in the foreground, so we're going to see these a little bit better. It's that darkness, that dark color that we were using, that we just mixed up. It's this drooping down kind of tree. This is probably a little bit more towards the swampland area. Get some more of this paint on here. Let's face it, this guy needs a friend. Everybody needs at least one friend, if not more. I'm currently blessed with a lot of friends. Alrighty. I think there was one right here too. Yeah, there he is. And just drooping it downwards. A little bit closer down here so you can see what's going on. Maybe a little bit more paint on here. I think this guy's kind of hanging out this way. There we go. All right. And then I think over here we just eh, got some other trees that just kind of, other foliage down over in this area here. Okay. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's only half of a painting. What about this side? We have barely touched this side. Well, that time is over. We are now going to put in. Hmm. Hmm. Oh boy, here we go. Way up here. Look at that. Whew. Let's back that up. You can't even see it all. There. And if you know me, can't just have one. There's his friend. Probably his best friend. And they did grow up together after all. Sometimes it is good to make up stories about the things that you're painting. No, we're not done yet here. Yeah. That is a very big tree, isn't it? All right. Yowza. There's tree number 4. Look at that. Interesting, wouldn't you say? Sometimes I don't even know where the painted brush is going to go. It just sort of happens, and then all of a sudden you got 4 big trees sitting in the middle of your painting, and you go, huh, neat. All right. We have the beginnings of that area. We're going to need to do a little fill in here. You know what? I happen to have my oval brush. So I'm going to use that. This is our background color. We're going to get quite a bit of this on the paintbrush. I'm going to back it up so you can see what I'm doing. Alrighty. We have kind of an inlet going on over here. And then we also have this thing coming in over here. Now I'm just going to take a lot of this extra darker paint here. We're going to put in a path sort of over here. So we're going to leave that out. There we are. Get this all filled in. Again, this is just the background color. You need darkness in order to show the light. I'm just going to blot this in just a little bit to get rid of the blue. But I believe there's a path going in there. All right. That's a lot of background, but not a lot of foreground there, Tim. You promised me foreground. Oh, I gotta wash this out. All right. And what I'm doing is I'm rubbing my paintbrush up against a grate, which is in a trash can. There are other more famous painters that just whacked it around the room, and yeah, no, I can't do that here. Alrighty, it's time to get to the more fun colors. What side should we start on? Let's start over here. First off, we're going to take the knife. We're going to take a little bit of this white, and I'm going to mix just a little bit of this darkness in with it. We got kind of a gray going on here, it looks like, huh? Just going to go ahead and take a slice of that. Put in some highlights here and there. We'll get to over here in a minute, but get some in just so these make sense. Okay. Why, hello, Emperor Dragon. How are you? It's nice to see you. Just painting a picture here. Where is my... There we are. Now, we already had some yellow ochre. I'm going to use some cadmium orange as well in this, as well as some Indian yellow. Some cadmium yellow. Just kind of mix them together. A little bit of orange, a little bit of... Thank you. Just going to get little highlights on this. This is a little bit too thick. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of paint thinner to it. The thing is that a thick paint won't stick to a thin paint, but a thin paint will stick to a thicker paint. Let's bring a little bit more of this cadmium yellow in here. We'll just throw in a few highlights here and there. There we are. And we'll just put in a little bit of color here and there. Give it a little bit more depth. All right. Well, thank you, James. Thank you. Alrighty. Bring this down like so. We'll wash this paintbrush out. Time to put in some grass over here, I think. Finish up this side of the painting. Yes, please remember to give me a follow if you haven't yet. Thank you very much if you have. I do paint every week, Friday this time. I'm going to grab some sap green and mix it with this cadmium yellow. A little bit more of that paint thinner too. Alrighty. Oops. Here we are. Let me see. Alright. A little bit more of this green, please. As you can see, we're bringing in some grass to this area here. Okay. Remember, don't kill all your dark spots. You need the darkness to show the light. Here's the other thing we're going to do. We're going to bring this down just a little bit. Just a little bit though. And then the beauty of oil paints. We just blur that up a little bit. How about that? We now have a reflection. In the water. And of course, finish up our water line again, taking that knife, using the back. Ha! Alright, that's a bit too much white. There we are. And we will put in the shoreline. You just gotta push it in. The canvas will take what it wants. Okay. We'll put in a line or two over here. Alright. Looking pretty good here so far. Just have this side to do. Ooh boy, just a little bit more to do on this side here. Just cleaning off my knife, I will set it here. Okay, I'm gonna use a different kind of brush now today. This is called a dagger brush. Okay, it is short on one side and longer on the other. So when I go ahead and I grab some of this here, I can use it on the thicker side or the thinner side, depending on what kind of result I'm looking for. I'm going to start thick up here. Like so. Very nice. Let's go from here. His friend's been here for a little bit too, so Lee has got a little bit of the growth going on here too. Well, it's good to have kind of an unsteady hand for this kind of work. Now, this is just base work here. We're not going into too much detail because a lot of this is going to get covered here in just a moment. But that gives us a basis of what we can make with our trees here. There's a reason why we made this much dark. Start this off a little bit better on this side. I have to admit, as of recently, I've been very much preoccupied with the number 4. Suddenly I remembered that one of the people that are really close to me is currently not feeling too well. She ended up having to go to the hospital here a little while ago. So I'm not going to say who it is, but keep her in your thoughts. Positive energy for my friend, please. I'm sure she'll be just fine. Also, next week, I will not be here on Friday. I may be here on a different day, but Friday I am actually traveling. I am going back home to go see my mother and my brother and go take a little vacation of sorts. It's been a long time since I've been home. Alrighty. Looking pretty good here. Just gonna add a little bit to this tree over here too. We want it to feel left out. It barely got in the picture to begin with anyway, right? Again, we're just laying the groundwork here. Because the next, just washing off this dagger brush here. Next thing we get to do is add a little bit more of the darkness. I'm going to use this, again, oval brush. Just going to add a little bit here and there. More of the darkness. Down up in here. Remember, use what's behind. If you cover up all that lovely, lovely work that we did earlier, if you cover it all up, then you won't get the depths in which you're looking for. So there we are. Remember, the darkness will then show the light. So, getting to the light. Go ahead and make sure that this is nice and clean. Well, cleanish, clean enough. Why, hello there, Greek. Oh, you got me. Greco-Greek. I have tried to pronounce your name I don't know how many times over on other streams, but I just now I couldn't wait any longer. I had to say it. You know what I need here? Oh, here we are. This is crimson red. I'm going to mix the crimson red with the cadmium orange. Get this nice looking offbeat red color. Yeah, I like that. Then we'll get a little bit more yellow. Okay, don't cover up all the light and the dark. Greek. It's the triple G. Okay, I gotcha. I'm assuming there's a story behind that. A little bit of white in here. I'll lighten it up a bit. Yeah. Yes. For those who don't know, Fidget is my wife, and we have 4 dogs. We have purebred. Not that I would ever buy a purebred, but this one was given to us. Golden Retriever, name of Moose. We have a Coonhound / Griffin mix. And if those who don't know, an English Griffin is looks a little bit like a Schnauzer dog, a little bit, but not really. That's Pepper. We have a Jack Russell mix, who is the terror of the household that we have to keep. Gotcha. We have our Jack Russell mix, who is just a bundle of energy and fun and mischief and everything else that comes with small Jack Russells. That's a Gemini because she is black and white on her face, just beautiful, beautiful patterning on her. And then we have my little girl. Her name is Pippin. And she is a mix of every small little angry dog. She is a Chihuahua mix, and boy, she will let you know all about it if she doesn't like you. Okay. I think I'm going to put the oval brush down for a little bit and use a 1-inch brush. I'm going to use this 1-inch brush to kind of figure out the end of this here. Now, we need to we are going to start. Oh, yeah. I think take a little bit of this here. Put it on this side. Just to give a little bit of a highlight on this side. Only a little bit because it is kind of under tree cover. Okay. There. Alrighty. All right. We're coming close to the end of this painting. We just have this corner in which to paint. And the question always becomes is the order in which it's done. Okay. We are going to start with this yellow and this yellow, Indian yellow and cadmium yellow, depending on how you pronounce it. Okay. We are going to put in the highlights to some bushes in here. Just like this. Okay. A little bit more deeper into the oranges. Let's put a little bit of, a little bit of red in that. Let's see if I can maybe enhance that just a little bit. So you can actually, there we are. Yes, thank you, Brushspot. Please remember, everyone, to give me a follow if you haven't. I would very much appreciate it. Now, here's the thing here. We decided we were going to put in a path here. So, after cleaning off a spot here, we're going to go ahead and we'll take some of this Van Dyke Brown, mix it with some burnt sienna, just a tad bit of the Midnight Black, a tad more. There we are. Now, we're going to have to put this path in now so that we can build it into what we're painting. So, there's our darkness. As they say, sometimes darkness can show you the light. There we are. Path kind of comes in this way, I think. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just putting in some color back here. Yeah, we held it down without you there, hon. Don't worry. We still needed you, though. We still needed you. So I try to say everyone has at least something that they're special at, something that they're good at. Maybe you're not the best at everything, but maybe you're good at something. Get a little bit of this white now. I'm going to just run it across the top of this brown. You are good at being bratty, I'll give you that. That is my wife, I'm allowed to say that. Gonna put on a little bit of highlights on this path here. Now it's my own fault I spoil you. Alrighty. Pushing up on this path here. Almost done. There we are. Just like that, we have a working path. There. Path kind of comes out this way, I think. There. Now, we need to also finish up these trees. Now, I'll get some more of this black here. This comes in like so. More of that black coming in. We're going to put a little bit of foliage in the back of that as the path kind of trails off in the back there. There we are. A little bit of overgrowth there coming into there. A little bit more over here. Let's get this. Again, a bit of the red. Here. Get you a little closer in here, maybe. Nice and close in here. Lighten up this mauve here. See if we can get that a little bit. Let me just brighten it up a little bit. All right. Here's the thing about the path. You need some darkness on it. Right. Some of the dark paths in there. Okay. And then we'll get this going on here. There. Hello, Ghost Jetta. How you doing? Get this just like so. There. We need to go a little higher in this foliage over here, I think. Set in a couple things just in the background here. Behind the trees. Getting ready for work, huh? Well, good luck at your job. Hope that you have a good shift and be safe. Just clean off these brushes here as we keep going. I'm gonna have to redo a little bit on the tree here. I'm gonna do a little bit of paint thinner in with this darkness. Just a little bit though, because I do want to accentuate exactly what's going on here. This is in the foreground up here. There. And with that, I just about have finished painting. Let's have a good look straight on here. Oh, there we go. That is not too bad. It is why I'm missing one thing though. I have to come down here. I'm gonna clean off my dagger brush here real quick. Ask you guys, what do you think of my setup? Do I need to make the palette cam a little bit bigger so you can see a little bit more what's going on there? Or is it good the size that it is? Okay. I am going to grab quite a bit of the paint thinner. Then I like to use stuff that's already in. And we'll get you up to where I'm at. I got you caught. There we are. Get you kind of up to where I'm at. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. Again, this painting is not for sale. This one will be eventually, and so will this one once it's dry, as well as there will be prints for each one of those. Thank you very much for joining me. I have to ask my mods real quick, who should I raid? While we're figuring out what we're going to finish up with here. Again, thank you very much. If you haven't followed me, please give me a follow. All of those really, really helps me out. Spread the word. I'll be here. Not next Friday. I am taking a week off. But I guess Lord Shen is on. Let me double check on the spelling of his name. Like I said, hope everyone has a good week coming up. Go make sure that I get his name correct. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Oh, let's see here. Make sure I got it spelled right. This is a person that I do spend a bit of time here and there. Now, remember, this channel is intended for mature audiences, so keep that in mind. He is a 420 friendly. If you know me, that's okay. Again, prints and everything will be available very soon. So, with that, everyone have a really good week and be safe.